Hi team, Miss Vaughn here. Today's class is super simple. You guys are going to be reading chapter 3 together, and then you're going to be responding to the chapter 3 questions. Chapter 3 is lengthy, but it's also very important. So you're going to be introduced to this really important concept called a rememory. Setha is going to explain it to Denver, and then you as the reader are going to be transported into a rememory, and that rememory is the birth of Denver. So we're going to hear the conditions that Setha experienced in which she gave birth to Denver. So we had talked about the ideas of trauma and resilience. When you guys are reading this, I want you to think about how those two things are showing up for Setha. And then for some people, just like, I know that it's so hard to place ourselves into the context that is so foreign. Hold on to that fact that Toni Morrison really did want to kidnap us into this experience of what the characters faced, either in the present or their past. And so there's going to be some parts in it that might make you really comfortable when Setha is talking about the physical difficulties of being pregnant when she escapes from Sweet Home. But it's done with the intent for us to understand like why Setha gets so, as it's been mentioned several times before, how she gets iron-eyed, where it's really hard for people to look her in the eyes. This is one event in a series of events that have happened to her that have caused those circumstances. We also get a little bit more details about Denver. Denver really wants to be able to understand her family and where she comes from in order to understand herself. And we get a glimpse into the way that Denver spends her days in the first couple of pages. And you guys have written this at the end of chapter 1, but Denver is very lonely. So we're going to see that loneliness even heightened, even more so in this chapter. The chapter ends with Paul D, and it ends in the present moment, and Paul D is going to be working on putting back together the parts of the house that he destroyed when he exorcised the ghost out of 124. And so Paul D's kind of struggling with like what it means to actually build a home, literally and figuratively, with Setha. And he's going to have some glimpses into his past. So we're going to be transported into some of his rememories to get a glimpse into the difficulties that he faced and the stuff that he is trying to process and deal with in order to be a good partner and a good man to Setha. Okay, email me if you have any questions. Remember that the Vaughn notes are available in Canvas at the module all the way at the end of the page. It's called Beloved Resources, and there's a link to the Vaughn notes. If you click those, my suggestion to you would be to read a little bit of the book and then click over to the notes to read the Vaughn notes, just to make sure that you have clarity of what's happening. And then also I have integrated quotes into the Vaughn notes, so those can also serve as guidance for the annotations that you do in your book. All right. Have a great time on the field trip on Wednesday. I'm really sad that I can't be there. But I know that you guys are gonna have a good time. I think that the weather is gonna be nice. As for today, really engage with this book. I know that it's really interesting. For some of you, it's really hard for some of you, but it's really building that muscle memory in your guys' head to work through something that can be so challenging. Not only the fact of reading it, but like dealing with some of the emotional content as well. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you on Thursday, Friday. Bye-bye.